Welcome to the second college slam prelim. Are you excited for that fact? Yeah! Good. Because we had a 6 o'clock bout. This is like the 8 o'clock bout. So this is like the party bout. You know? It's like, 8 o'clock. Let's do this. Slam is a poetry competition. It was invented in 1984 by Chicagoan Mark Smith. In the last 25 years, poetry slam has spread throughout the U.S. and the world. This is the 12th Louder Than a Bomb. It was started in 2001 by Anna West and Kevin Cole to give Chicago youth a place to express themselves and gather in a safe space. What started with 12 teams has now blossomed to almost 90, and it is the world's largest teen poetry festival. Give it up for yourselves! Clap for the poets when you hear their name. First we have Keith. Brandon. Crystal. Josh. Stephanie. Andriana. And Malcolm. It's Crystal.
This is a testamentary memory from the elementary, so excuse me if it's fragmentary. And yet, I cannot acquire the amnesty required for me to forgive it, nor forget it, and so I relive it. In the first grade must have been a day in January because we were reading a complimentary biography on Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Miss Kennedy had us crisscross applesauce sitting on the carpet as she read to her students who were not much taller than a yardstick, aloud about this man who took on fire hoses and mobs who opposed him for the pigments of his skin, who took on riots in the streets and preached peace despite men in sheets, who took on threats of harm and police dogs and spoke as if in synagogue, and ironically she told us about his dream. About this man who moved crowds and manifested a movement and became a king with a crown. She closed the book. I noticed a hand raised to my left belonging to a girl named Tess. She inquired in front of the choir of our fellow first graders, "Is Crystal black?" No one laughed. No peer gave a sneer. Thinking back now, I suppose they too must have wanted to know. All pairs of eyes were on me. Looking around, I could see, of course, no one else was brown. And so I looked down and Miss Kennedy replied no, and moved on. I was quiet, silent, reminded once again that it did not matter that I was Latina. I was still the black sheep. So unknown, in fact, that these peers of mine had no idea who I was. Not this or that, just something else, something undesirable, indecipherable, apparently indescribable. They meaning those children sitting in that witch up front would never learn of Zapata or Mexico's revolution or why stop at my history, Che's execution or anything outside of Cinco de Mayo. And they couldn't get that right either. And so I stand here today, voice booming like Martin saying, "You, Miss Kennedy, for crippling me the way you did. Your action or lack thereof is unacceptable. Did you think I would find it offensive if you got up and pointed to the obnoxiously large map behind you? Did you think I would not appreciate it if you did your goddamn job and taught these children that there is more than just light and dark, that there is an in-between? Did you not think? Did you not think, or did you not know what I even am? Did you not think to ask? Are there not books about me, or did you even look? I am curious what those children must have thought of that one-word, ultra-unclear response. Did my name tag, Cristal Guillen, confuse you? Excuse me for not wearing a poncho or talking like Ricky Ricardo. Pardon me for not walking into your classroom and before taking my Blue's Clues backpack off, announced that soy mexicana. Honestly, I blame you because they are first graders and perhaps have an excuse, but not you. Honestly, it makes me sick because even at 6, I knew I would one day get my vengeance fix. Even then, I knew the remedy. I knew I would one day write a poem about all this and call call it Fuck You, Miss Kennedy.
To be fair, Miss Kennedy was something else. It really was. Let's see, we have some scores. Let's see if Crystal wants to say F you to any of these judges. We have a low score of an 8.4. You couldn't even get that out, could you? No! We have a 9.0. A 9.3. A 9.3. A 9.6. Give me and keep that going to the next part of round number 1. It's Josh, ladies and gentlemen. In round number 2, let's bring back Crystal!
Okay, so this one's called Taki 183. In 1971 or 72, the New York Times published an article about this kid who wrote his first name Taki and his street numbers 183 everywhere he went. So this is for all the Taki 183s. This is for the hello, my name is sticker stackers, the so-called slackers. This is an ode to the painters, to daylight strangers, the strangers to the household chambers, the legally endangered, the steadfast, typecast, outcast, interiors, contrast, the inferior. This is a nod to the nocturnal victors, scribblers, writers, climbers, drawers, taggers, big-headed talkers, fence hoppers, dumpsters, proctors. The joggers, the trotters, squatters, squad car dodgers, subway showstoppers, the authors of the unauthorized visits, who leave trails and tidbits, the so-called vandals, the bathroom stall scandal. This is an ode to the aerosol stain, to those who disobey when they have something to say, reach for a felt tip or seek spray, the everywhere and anywhere, the undercover gymnasts who leave you wondering how did they get up there, and better yet, how did they get down? The lookouts, the lookarounds, the 1 mile radius renown, the anti-pretenders, the repeat offenders, the never gonna amount but sure juvenile delinquent contender, the entertainers who give commuters something to look at, the can shakers, the exacto knife enablers, the magic marker message makers who leave murals for all to see, leaving images not just for the privileged but for even the illiterate to graciously receive. You do not need to pay a fee, have a degree. This is done by the ordinary, to be seen by the ordinary. A confessional for the unprofessional who choose to settle and choose. Brick canvases, roofs, flat surfaces, stop signs, textbook binds, buildings, viaducts, delivery trucks, cardboard, billboards, skateboards, L-tracks, carrying their utensils in their knapsacks, must have run out of pages in their notebooks, maybe can't afford a sketchbook, who no longer want to be overlooked, unseen. Who use 2 arms to reach, 2 palms to teach, what an ideal duality, for they are reckless yet creative, admired but hated, scant yet redundant, disbelievers who are prophets who speak without a pulpit. The city's surfaces are transformed into gallery walls that Mayor Daley attempted to cover up with paint and plasters and all sorts of blasters, water blast, pressure blast, power blast, jet blast, sand blast, but when one is taken down, another springs up, the art outlasts. The so-and-so was here announcer, the John 3:16 scouter, the wordsmith, the Susie loves Mikey cursive, the jotted commentary, the commentary on the commentary remains, can't scrape the paint. But that's what it is, just paint to keep the youth sane. The public is complaining that it's everywhere now because the youth is running out of space. But were they really given space to begin with? If you say they matter, but pool the after-school matters, you want them to express themselves, but rip resources from the CPS shelves. And so in the streets, they find themselves crying out for recognition, pleading for attention, demanding acknowledgement, making marks in cement because they aren't making marks in their own lives, claiming territory every 2 feet, being discreet without being discreet. We don't complain of ads or ads within ads within ads, but we protest tags. Would it be different, officer, if we charge the youth tags? You see, is it really so obscene? We have all written our names somewhere on something. They too could empty themselves onto more than just a wall, if you just provide the means.
Very low score of an 8.9. The man in the poncho is very upset. We have a 9.0. You were screaming at 8.9. It went up to a 10th and you said, yeah. We have a 9.2. A 9.2. I'm busting out the jazz hands because we got a 10, ladies and
How many people have enjoyed themselves thus far? A lot of the bomb. Make some noise. Word up. You are familiar then that Young Chicago Authors is the non-for-profit literary organization that puts on Loud on the Bomb year-round. We do the work and then throw the festival Loud on the Bomb. I think, for my money, this was the best college slam bout I've ever seen. For real, like you all have for real, like raised the bars very high. Like this has been, I think, the best that it's been. So only two people advance, and let's see. Unfortunately, if she wouldn't have gone over time, it looks like Crystal would have advanced, but she's not advancing. Say goodbye to Crystal. Show her some love. Show her some love. All right. Time is ridiculous, but Crystal is dope. Crystal is very dope. You will be seeing her tons in the future. From this bout up to College Slam Finals, we are bringing Malcolm and Josh.